What's good, brothers and sisters? Chris here from Namaste Gaming, and today I want to talk to you about my first impressions of Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns. I have really mixed feelings on this expansion. It's something that I want to love. Those of you who have been around the channel for a while know that I launched this channel with Guild Wars 2, and for a long time the majority of my content was about Guild Wars 2. The whole time I was away from the game, I was on the lookout for something that could pull me back. When Heart of Thorns was announced, I was beyond stoked, and after opting out of the beta weekend so it would all be fresh for me at launch, I was even more stoked to tear into it. Launch didn't disappoint either, and I can honestly say I've had more fun playing the expansion than I ever did playing the base game. So why am I spending so little time with it just over a month later? My theory is simple. Heart of Thorns is an excellent expansion with some horrible progression mechanics. The elite specializations are varying degrees of fantastic. The mastery system introduces a Metroidvania-esque spin on exploration. The story missions are fun, even if the plot points are tropey and abrupt. And the new zones are seriously the most gorgeous that I've ever seen in an MMO, bar none, which is a statement I don't make lightly. What I'm trying to say is, I love a lot of what this expansion brought to the table. There are a lot of things I don't love, though. The increasing number of currencies, the mind-numbing ascended crafting process in its entirety, the still shit horrible bags of worthless loot, the lack of any meaningful progression in my favorite game mode in World v World, and the finicky map instancing with the new expansion maps have all contributed to my frustration with the game, and the fact that dungeon and fractal rewards were neutered hasn't really helped either, especially since I finally have a group of players who I enjoy playing PvE with as a group consistently, and we can actually do those things now. The guild hall, which I was so excited about, is downright, I hate to use this word, but it really is burdensome for smaller guilds, since the unlock process requires so much larger of a contribution from each individual member. I don't want to force the growth of the guild just to mitigate the cost of the guild hall, and I certainly don't want my friends to have to make the choice between ascended gear and, new customization options and all that sort of thing, versus supporting the creation of their guild hall. The biggest issue I have with the expansion, though, the number one thing that I think of every single time that I'm deciding whether to play Guild Wars 2 or something else, is that this game still just feels like logging in and checking off items on a list to me. Now, I am more than willing to accept the possibility that it might just be an issue with my personality. In fact, I would prefer that to be the case. But for me, this is what I do in Guild Wars 2. I log in, collect my daily reward, log on to all of my characters to farm flax because we need a metric fuckton of flax for the guild hall. Next, I check to see if I have mats for ascended items. If not, I hit the trading post for them, then hit that daily cooldown. If I'm feeling froggy, I might go do my daily quartz charge. Past that point, I feel like I only have two options at any given point. Grind for gold, or grind for mastery. If I grind for mastery, I'm sacrificing my gold per hour, and since almost everything that I'm working for except for mastery itself requires exorbitant amounts of gold, that kinda chafes. If I grind for gold, I'm no closer to unlocking the masteries that I need. If I log into World vs. World, I get neither, and that's the game mode that I want to play the most. Guild Wars 2, for me, has become Gold Wars 2, and that's not exciting. Don't get me wrong, I will still be playing the game casually, and I'll still be contributing to the slow and steady growth of the guild hall, and I'll probably still even stream it and upload content on it now and then. I think Heart of Thorns did a lot of things right, but the fact that progression is still just based on a slow currency grind means that for me, Tyria is a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. That's me, folks, but of course I'm sure a lot of you are loving the expansion, and probably at least a few of you are downright hating it, so I'd love to hear both of your impressions of Heart of Thorns in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it the old thumbs up and share it with your friends, and if you're new around here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you want to catch me off of YouTube, follow me on Twitch and Twitter, and if you want to play some video games or just creep on what I'm playing, all my info is in the description below. Much love to each and every one of you. Stay black.